So here we go. It's really just a lot of waiting. I always love that yellow glow that happens from lights inside a house coming out. It's almost like the inside seeps to the outside. It's funny, I always wonder like if people can feel me looking. You know, you never really know. I think they can. I think they can. There's just something about the nighttime that I've always found alluring and interesting. It's a time that I can really focus. It's like almost like the night is my studio. Even when it's daytime, I tend to make it darker, and even when I'm shooting inside and there's light, you know, I tend to try to make it look like night. So there's just something about that that works for me. I've always tended to sort of shoot straight into the light. You're supposed to have the sun over your shoulder, and I've always done the opposite thing. And if you look at my photographs, so many of them are just the light source is in there and I'm shooting towards the light. Whenever I photograph, I'm somehow just like a magnet attracted to isolated, lonely looking things. When I drive around and look, I can go to the same neighborhood because it's different every single night. You know, there's like a million different combinations of things that could come together to make a photograph right. It's really kind of, I'm hunting, you know, for something that I'm attracted to or something that catches my eye. I think that what makes me stop is I think that 99% of the time it's a certain light on in a window that I'm attracted to. You know, there's a story inside each one of those windows. I was born in Ohio and raised in Ohio, and I grew up in a neighborhood that's very much like, you know, the ones I photograph in. When I go out and drive around the country and find stuff, I'm always gravitating to these places that remind me of home in some way. This is the text from my house hunting book, written by A.M. Holmes, and it's called Just Looking. This is the place where something happened. Things went wrong. There are marks, traces, pieces left behind, evidence.
He drives at night, looking for comfort, reading the street signs, one way, yield, stop, as though they might tell him something, what to do next. He prowls, looking. He drives at night, looking for the light that signals somebody's home. He looks for the shade pulled down. He doesn't want to see too much. There is pleasure in not knowing. I'm definitely attracted to things that are kind of unkept, like kind of askew, you know, curtains that are kind of crooked, you know, like you can just tell from the exterior that things aren't all
perfect in the interior. These are homes where people have been evicted from their house, and I had been able to go inside and photograph, what just the kind of remnants of that. And this is something that I found. And with these foreclosed homes in the interiors, like, the little details are really important. Like, there was stuff hanging there for a long time, and the house got darker around them. And again, just the simplest things, like the child's drawing on the wall, the dust on top of the globe that no one had ever cleaned. And, when they left the baby blanket, which is curious. Of all the things to leave behind, that's not one of the things that I wouldn't have grabbed. Do you see everything in the photograph when you're taking it? And the answer is absolutely not. I think with photography, I think that you're drawn to a place, and there's something about it where you know there's something there, but you really don't. I don't think that you, at least in your first level of consciousness, see everything. I think that through the act of editing your contact sheets and looking at your prints, and then really seeing what was there, you're introduced to your photograph a second time. With photography, there's no question that the accident is part of the magic of it. I never add light to the photographs. I never ask people for permission. I just sort of like drive around and I shoot. In the beginning, I thought, well, maybe I should, stage some photographs, or it would be really cool to like make something happen inside. And then I quickly realized that was just too forced and contrived. I don't like to see my hand in it. It's funny, I shoot like a documentarian because I don't screw around with anything. I'm just shooting straight, but I print like a painter almost. And I think that blurs it a little bit. A lot of it has to do with color. I think that color really equals emotion. And I think that there's something about the colors that it just says something. So this is my new work, basically, and I think that this is going to be called Dark Quarters. It's a combination of, of interiors, landscape pictures, some of the houses at night, and then as well as portraits and nudes. So that's what it's kind of a weaving together of these things. Photographing, the figure, and in portraiture, it's exciting because it's basically like new ground for me. And, my work has changed a bit from it. Exactly how, I don't know, but like I can just sense that, there's something happening with the portraits. When I'm shooting spaces, I just have the spaces be empty, and I don't really want to put the people in the exact spaces, but there's something about, the combination of the things that starts to happen. There's something that's really exciting, about you putting a person, combining a person with an empty room. It's sort of like they activate each other in some way that's interesting. I find that there is a meditative kind of quality to just searching, is what it really is. Like you're just constantly looking for something. And, it's hard. I mean, like it never ends, even when you're not doing it, you're always doing it.
When no one is looking, he takes pictures, portraits of what can't be seen, apprehending images, spirits luminescent in the fog. He documents the gaseous glow, the ethereal ether of dreams disappeared. This is what remains, the opposite of perfect, something always wrong. A stained curtain, a shade askew, linoleum, false security, fences, trees, snow, Hollow shadows, inside, outside, home.